Welcome to Whilton Mill for the first heat of the IME Senior X30 class in this fourth round of the 2022 Club Championship. This race is run over 8 minutes plus 1 additional lap. The formation comes through the boot and down the straight but loses shape crossing the line and a false start is called. So around we go again. Using the run along Manuel's bank for more swerving they approach Christmas corner for the second time. We don't have the official starting grid data but this is how they seem to be lining up. Pole, 73 Harry Torphy, P2, 54 Remy Gilbert, P3, 48 Alex Johnston, P4, 174 Luke Taylor, P5, 15 Benjamin Southgate, P6, 51 Hugo Gilbert, P7, 99, Lucas Ellingham, P8, 28 Brandon Mats Hull, and P9 number 80 Jordan Brown. Unfortunately the remaining numbers were lost in the rush to the line. A track marshal moves out to slow them down. Through Oziers and up the back straight they slow and reform into their allocated 2x2 grid positions. Still lots of movement within the pack to get more heat into their tires. Another marshal is out on the tarmac to make sure they stay in line and he indicates exactly what he wants them to do. This time with the pole man, P2, P3 and P4 staying in the tram lines the start is called good, and we are racing at Whilton Mill. It's a frenetic start as they race through the first few corners with everyone jockeying for the best position. Some succeed while others fail. From pole number 73 Harry Torphy pulls a good gap, but Lucas Ellingham, who started P7 on the grid, has powered past 4 carts and is looking for a way past number 54 Remy Gilbert. Gilbert holds him off through Oziers and up the back straight slowing his progress to get to the back of the leader. But the gap is closing. Ellingham sees a gap on the inside going into the boot, goes late on the brakes and slips up into second place. Rounding pit bend and now he needs to close up on Torphy before the gap gets too large. 7 carts going into oblivion line abreast does not bode well as it is a sharp and narrow left-hand switch followed by a right-hand into the crook, onto lap 2 end. So we have, Harry Torphy leading Lucas Ellingham, followed by Remy Gilbert as our leading trio, with a gaggle of about 8 drivers contesting the top 10 spots. Ellingham is gradually putting a gap between himself and Gilbert while slowly closing in on Torphy. Going through Inkermans, Ashby, and Oziers the positions remain the same with Remy Gilbert not letting Ellingham get too far ahead up the back straight, but inevitably the gap between the number 73 and number 99 is closing. Through the boot and pit bend then down the finish straight. And on to the start of lap 3. Down the long straight to Christmas corner Ellingham turns on the afterburners and makes inroads into Torphy's lead. His speed through Christmas take another 10th or so out of the number 73. He then closes even more through Inkerman and Ashby plus the tricky bends of Oziers. On the back straight Ellingham has closed the gap on the leader. Number 54 and the 174 are also fighting for the third place. Ellingham thinks about a pass entering the boot but decides better. Number 174 Luke Taylor challenges number 54 for third and after running side by side wins out. A yellow and black Battenberg flag is shown at the finish line, which indicates a full course yellow state of affairs. A Battenberg flag means there is no overtaking allowed anywhere on the circuit. Under a full course yellow flag the lead cart acts as a potential pacemaker and dictates the speed as the remaining drivers close up. This allows those, who may have had incidents earlier, to get back into the fight. Generally the leader does not like this, because everyone closes in on him, unless of course he is being pressured in the dying laps. Then it shortens the amount of time that he has to defend his position to the finish. As there was a yellow flag at the start line and we cannot see any disabled carts on the circuit, it is probable the incident happened somewhere between Oblivion and the Crook or maybe Fine Lady, which could be a result of the 7 carts converging at the beginning of the lap. Should any injury be serious, a red flag will be shown and all racing will come to a halt to allow the ambulance free access to the track to transport the injured person to the medical center or hospital, whichever is appropriate. The Battenberg flag remains in place for lap 4 as the train of carts snake through. A common trick used by the lead kart in these situations is to slow way down, to bunch the following karts up. This causes them to concentrate more on their position in the pack and less on the leader at the restart. Also, because the lead kart has total control of the pace of the train and may slow way down in an attempt to bunch the pack up to get them to have to fight between themselves when racing goes green. Strange as it may seem, this is somewhat grueling for the drivers because they must concentrate on holding their speed and position in the pack, but still be hyped up enough to make the charge when the flag shows green and not get caught on the back foot. Although this track may seem comparatively flat, it does have a slope on it, which can catch the unwary out on downhill braking. Lap 5 and we are still under the full course yellow ruling. There has been no sighting of the ambulance being used, so hopefully this is just a case of clearing damaged karts off the track without any bodily injuries. While the full course yellow prohibits overtaking, they are still under race conditions, and any mistake, like a spin or running off the track, can cause positions to be lost. Plus, an accidental loading causing the dropping of a nose cone will result in a 5-second infringement penalty. A marshal is walking across the track from oblivion to the finish marshal's position, which may be an indication that the track is clear and normal racing can be resumed. An eagle-eyed driver may have seen that as a possible green flag start to lap 6. The required single-line train of karts comes around the boot and onto the pit bend straight. And indeed it is. Lap 6 begins, and the green flag indicates a return to racing. The number 73 blasts away in an attempt to get the jump on Ellingham's number 99. But he's wise to this and remains just where he wants to be in the draft coming up to Christmas corner. Going on the outside of Torphy into Christmas, and being late on the brakes, gives Ellingham the inside run coming out of the bend, and he skillfully takes the lead. Into Inkermans and through to Oziers he begins to create a gap. Being the Whilton Mills 2020 IAMA Junior X30, and 2021 IAMA Senior X30 champion Lucas is very knowledgeable about this circuit and will not give up a lead very easily. So lap 7 sees number 99 settling down to do what he does best, which is to produce lap after lap of constantly fast times, grinding down the opposition by adding 1 or 2/10 of a second onto the gap with every completed lap. When number 99 is in this mood, he is very rarely forced into a defensive battle but just draws away from the opposition. In his 2021 campaign to win the title on his very first year in the senior class, Ellingham won every heat 1 that he was entered in, and most were done from the pole position of the grid. It seems somewhere out of our sight number 54 Remy Gilbert regained the 3rd spot and demoted 147 back to P4. As they start lap 8, the gap between Ellingham and Torphy over the finish line now looks to be in the region of 1 second. With number 54 Remy Gilbert 3rd, number 28 Brandon Matshull in P4 and number 51 Hugo Gilbert, Remy's brother, in P5. Each has a healthy gap, so desperate lunges for an overtake do not appear to be on the cards. 147 has lost places as he is not in the top 5 now. And Ellingham's speed down the straight, late braking and almost perfect lines through the bends just adds to the gap. This is how Ellingham wins championships, and indeed why he leads the current WMKC Senior X30 Championship. The 9th lap sees the last lap board shown, and all number 99 needs to do is hold his lines and speed to bring home another Heat 1 win at Whilton Mill. Although number 73 led the race for almost half the laps, some of them under full yellow conditions, he could not match the pace of number 99 in the later half of this first heat. Lucas Ellingham leads them through Christmas and around Inkermans, where number 82 Christian Brooks has got himself up into P7. Coming through Oziers, number 99 seems to be the winner with 73 Torphy in 2nd, and 54 Remy Gilbert 3rd. Brandon Matshull had an up and down race but holds his 4th spot, while Hugo Gilbert number 51 is 5th. More valuable points for Ellingham.